What's going on, guys? We're going to go over a quick little strategy here. Again, not the first time I've covered this strategy, but like to bring it to light. That way you guys can kind of see these examples as they've kind of played out in recent time. So again, market opened 3 hours ago, 2.5 hours ago. We haven't had a tremendous amount of setups, but there's been some very, very clean setups. So with that being said, we're using the 20 SMA simple moving average. We're using a 5-minute time frame. What we're looking at here is today's price action. So if you kind of look to see, where we started this morning, we were trading below the 20 period moving average. And then, we had about 20 to 30 minutes off the open where the market was in a very, very tight range. Okay. So there was a couple of things that we could have looked to do. If you look at the opening range 5-minute candle, it was a 55-point range. And essentially we were stuck and trapped in this range for the better half of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes before we finally started to break down at the top of the hour. Now, I know in evolution traders, a lot of my traders and a lot of the guys that I trade with, we're looking for this setup after the first 30 minutes because typically that's when volatility starts to pick up. That's when the market tries to identify a direction or a trend for the day if there's going to be one. So if you're a newer trader, maybe one thing that might help you is actually sitting out the first 15, 20, 30 minutes of the day and getting kind of coming into the market at the top of the hour and seeing exactly what we're doing. But a lot of us caught this short position here on this 30-minute opening range break. So technically here, this is not a 20 SMA short scalp, but it is a range breakdown. Okay, so we had a range, a 55-point range. We chopped around inside of it for about 25, 30 minutes before we finally broke to the downside of this range. This was a very quick scalp here. Okay, so now that trade's out of the way, market kind of put in a low, did the same kind of action where it chopped around for 5, 10, 15 minutes before we got a little bit of a bounce. Now, one thing that you need to tell yourself is that if there's this bounce into the 20 SMA and it does not fail and take out the low of day, spelling out a continuation, look for maybe that quick dead cat bounce scalp to the long side. Now, we got that here and it was very, very quick. Again, a lot of the better trades were to the downside, which because that's the way that the market was starting to trend. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can't make money on those scalp trades to the long side, but just got to be cautious of it. And you just got to be mindful. Again, it's a little bit more of a 50-50 trade. It's not so much of a higher probability trade. But if you are a scalper with maybe a smaller TP, you can maybe get that filled. So if you look at this close over the 20 SMA, that price was 20,442. And you can see we start to confirm it. Now, it did take around 10 minutes, but we do confirm it. And we go all the way up to a price of 20,457 from that price of 442. So a quick 5 points there on that scalp. Now, today was one of those days where, again, I took about 3 or 4 trades max, okay, between the 5 and 1 minute time frame in that 30-minute opening range, and I just called it a day. I'm very, very good at calling it a day on a one and done trade or a couple trades on the option side of things. With futures, it's just very easy to kind of sit here and continue to try to scalp this price action. But I'm going to get myself into a much more relaxed behavior and a much more calm behavior, because there's really no reason to kind of sit here and find every single setup. If you guys can make 1, 2, 3 setups work, and let's say maybe you split hairs on, you lose a trade, you win 2, but you're profitable, just stop trading. If you take a winning trade and you have some decent size on, just stop trading. If you take 2 trades and they win back to back, just stop trading. Again, guys, there's going to be price action tomorrow. There's going to be price action next week, next month, next quarter, next year. Markets aren't going anywhere. Okay. So when you're coming from a prop firm environment, or even if you're trading personal cash, it's all about building up your account balance. And that takes time, right? Even though, yes, you can sit here and try to put on some big size and catch every move and, have these big $5,000 days or $2,000 days, or, whatever those fictitious numbers are in your head that you seem to want to hit every day. Yes, you can do that, but the probabilities are low that you're going to be able to do it consistently on a day in and day out basis, especially if you're a scalper. Now, if you're a trend trader where you're looking to catch a bit of a move and you're going to catch 40, 50, 60, 80 points on the NASDAQ, then yeah, you have to look for these days where the market does kind of slowly trend in your favor. But again, that's a different type of trader. I'm speaking specifically more to the shorter time frame day traders slash scalpers, because that's what I am, right? I can only speak on what I do. The last trade setup that I took here was closer to 10:50 in the morning. That short position closed back below the 20 period moving average, and that low price was 20,401. It does confirm at 10:55 and goes down to a price of 20,390. So you can see here another quick 5 points on that. So again, you know, between the opening range, between the setup to the long side here, the setup to the short side, and I took one trade on the 1 minute time frame. It was a short trade. About 4 winning trades there on 1 mini contract, trying to just grab anywhere between 3 and 5 points, finishing the day up over $370, $380. Not a bad day, right? Once you start combining that with multiple accounts and you're taking payouts from prop firms on multiple accounts, it really starts to add up. There's no real reason to sit here and continue to push and try to stretch the 340, 350, 380 day into a $600 day or into a $900 day. Those days will come, and you'll know when they come because it just happens naturally. You look back at the end of the day and you say, hey, I took 6 trades, I lost 1, but I won 5 trades and I'm up $700. You know, those trades just come. They're not forced, if that makes sense. If you guys need evaluation accounts with Apex right now, we're still got that sale, 80% off, $85 activation fees. Link down in the description box below. If you guys are looking to join Evolution Traders, that link is also down in the description box below. I only have 2 spots left for this upcoming month of November, and after that we're going to close it out, you know, for at least 2 or 3 weeks at a time. Again, I like to do that where we bring in a couple of people, close out the room for a few weeks, allow those newer people to get acclimated and get situated, and then bring in new people. Again, it's not just an open community where there's thousands and thousands of people in there. It's very small, very focused, very dedicated. If that's of interest to you, that link is down in the description box below at Evolution Traders. And again, I'll see all of you guys on the next one.